Swaggy. Hello, Dinosaurs Terror World has already joined us. Very nice. Can you let us know?
Don't getting a picture.
If we are visible. Andrew Chen's in here too. Hi, he made it. This is the first live stream that he's been able to make it to.
Oh, lovely.
That's part of the reason we switched the time so that people who
Great.
couldn't make it before can. We're having some weird things going on though. Can everybody see the fish? Oh, look at all these. Holy cow, a lot of people. P. Getty, Kamari Williams.
We aren't seeing a picture on our end on our screen, so if you guys can see the fish, tell us if you see a picture or if it's just black.
Yes.
Okay,
Good.
so
Okay.
Andrew can see the fish.
Okay, for some reason
we can't see the fish.
Kamari Williams says, love your videos. Cool. Okay. Oh,
Hey, Ireland.
Little Bob
Slange.
says hi from Ireland. Okay, so everybody can see the video. Nice. We can't. I don't know why. This has never happened, but it looks like you can all see it. Okay, great. That's good. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We decided to. Oh, what happened to last stream? Now, last week we didn't catch a stream. We weren't able to do it, but now we're doing this one. So we're hoping to do it every week, but not necessarily at this time. But we thought we'd surprise everyone because this is when you are accustomed to seeing one. And
Okay, Pennsylvania says they see the fish and the snails.
Okay, yes, from
Red
Pennsylvania. All right, nice. Great. Well, one thing we wanted to do as we start out, we wanted to feed we're going to do a live feeding of Daphnia. I've got a huge Daphnia culture going here, and so I'm going to catch a few Daphnia and feed the fish, and you're going to watch that. That's going to be the first thing we do. We do want to open it to question and answer. So if you have questions and so on, we will definitely do our best to address that. But we thought it would be fun to do a live feeding, just like we've done with geckos and stuff like that in the past. We're going to do a live Daphnia feeding. Why not? You know, sounds fun. So here we go. My Daphnia culture has been going crazy, absolutely crazy, since I set it up a few weeks ago. And so I'll just grab a few here and we'll go to it. All right. Now I'm bringing it over to the tank, and here come a swarm of Daphnia. Shouldn't be too long before you see them filtering down to the bottom.
I don't.
Okay.
Our screen is still blank. We can't tell what you guys are seeing, so I don't know
That's
what's
okay.
wrong with our screen.
Yeah, this chat is kind of slow. It says, I can't wait for another room tour. This is quite a slow
I'm glad
chat.
you like it.
Oh, and Powerful Lance
What
says,
happened? Little Bob says, oh, it's moving again. So we can't see any picture. I'm not sure what's wrong with it.
Yeah,
so
I'm not sure about the lag. Okay, but Little Bob says, like the stream. Good. And Harambe can see it. Good. So it's working. Can you see the fish eating the Daphnia? Anybody? Are they going after him? Okay, Kamari Williams can see it. How can you get Daphnia? Oh, good question. Well, I just bought mine online from, I think it was Aquabid. Was it? I think so.
It's been a long time.
Something like
had
that.
It for a long
but
time.
I've had the culture for so young. Okay, they
stream.
can see the Daphnia. Good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Red Omai says, yeah, it's because Hillary deleted the last stream.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
We didn't even have to email it to anybody.
Yeah, okay.
Smaller the stream, you see the Daphnia, the better.
Okay, smaller the stream, like how a smaller group of people? Oh, great to see you too, Dinosaurs Terror World. Thank you for being there. Don't buy things online. Yeah, that can be hard
That makes it a
to
little
get hold of
trickier
Daphnia.
To get
But
them, yeah.
Andrew, you're in Australia, is that right? Because if you are, I'm thinking, you know, sometimes I get people confused about where they live. But if you're in Australia, I would say look at some of your local fish clubs.
Yes,
okay.
Okay.
You look at local fish clubs. They can help you a lot of times with Daphnia cultures. That can be the way to do it because they are hard to get in pet shops. But sometimes local fish clubs can help you out.
Somebody asked how many fish you have.
How many fish? I don't know. Let's see. We have 2 goldfish. We have 2.
Well, do they mean species or individuals?
Species? Okay, that's a good question.
Little Bob said, if it's a small stream, the same people turn up. You get to know them and you can talk without the chat being flooded with spam.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's kind of nice to have a smaller, more intimate communication.
Kamari Williams said, should I get a leopard gecko from PetSmart?
You know what? It can work to get a leopard gecko from PetSmart.
It's not the best place.
Yeah, I wouldn't be my first choice.
A breeder is better.
Yeah, I wouldn't even go to necessarily a mom and pop pet shop as my first choice either. I would go to a breeder if I could. So you can often find a hobby breeder, a good one, or a professional breeder would be a really great idea, I think. Okay, so different species. Yeah, we're
how many different species of fish
At this point, not a ton of different species of fish. I think I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, just 5 species of fish, which is kind of a low for me. I think generally I've had quite a bit more. But yeah, right now I think I have just 5 species of fish.
You've had plenty more throughout the years. It's been a long time. You've had fish forever, so you.
Yes, I've probably bred about 20 species of fish, and I've kept probably more than double that. Probably at least 50 species of fish.
Dinosaurs World says, have you tried to breed leopard geckos before?
Have I tried to breed leopard geckos?
We haven't bred leopard geckos.
We have not.
Before.
We have not bred leopard geckos. The only geckos that we've bred so far have been mourning geckos, and then of course one accidental crested gecko.
Yeah.
That was. Let's see. And this sand. Okay, so Red Omai is asking about the sand. It is partially aragonite sand for the buffering capacity that it offers. As that's mostly aragonite is a form of calcium carbonate, which is a great question. But there's a lot of pool filter sand in here. I would say this is probably 80% or more pool filter sand and maybe 20% aragonite, somewhere around there.
Davey says, did you ever try breeding your gold barbs?
I haven't tried to breed them, but they did once produce, they lay eggs a lot. They spawn all the time in the tank, or they have spawned for me before. And I once found a fry, really tiny fry, just surprised me, zipping around in the tank, caught sight of it. I knew that's what it was because it wasn't anything else that was in the tank that was producing fry that size. And then it zipped off and disappeared, and I never saw it again.
Little Bob, it just went away, hang on. Little Bob says, come back. If you ever don't use sand, it will kill them. They do live in deserts, but not sandy deserts.
We're talking about
the leopard geckos.
Yeah, sand is a very controversial substrate, and some people swear by it, some people swear at it. And I would say it's best to avoid sand, because it can cause impaction in certain conditions, especially for baby leopard geckos. So the substrate we're using in our bioactive leopard gecko substrate is not a sand-based substrate. I think it's safer. Okay.
Dinosaurs says, do you have any other living things in your tank?
Yes, and I'm assuming you're talking about aquariums, the fish tanks themselves. Yes, we have.
I thought he was talking about this one that we're filming
in this tank?
Right now.
This one has olive nerites living in it and Malaysian trumpet snails, as well as gold barbs. Let's see. Yeah, so the ingestion of sand can cause impaction, and it messes up their digestive system, and it can be fatal. And so that can be a problem. So let's see.
Rabbi says use ground walnut shells.
I've heard of that too. I've heard of that too, but I haven't used that one.
Bob says they digest it. Does he mean the walnut shell or the sand?
I think he's talking about the sand.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, the blue thing in the background? I'm not sure what you're seeing for sure, but I think what you're probably seeing is a piece of the lid.
Right there.
I think it is a piece of the lid, the plastic guard that goes on the back of the tank.
Next to the sponge on the
filter?
filter?
Yeah, that piece fell in there, and I put it back on, and then it fell in again. I need to get my tweezers and get it out. It fell in because, I don't know why it fell in, but I put another piece on that's not going to fall in. And so, that's what it is. It's a piece of that, and I need to get my thing and take it off. So I need to get my tweezers and take it off. I forgot I was answering another question. We have other living things in our aquariums besides the snails and the fish, but I did mention, I have an aquarium over here that's like my Daphnia culture has also amphipods and ram's horn snails and copepods and sea shrimp all living in it. So there's a lot of that going on. And freaking username already taken. Says, what do the shellfish eat? Is it good? Oh, what are they eating? What are they eating right now? The shellfish.
Daphnia.
The shell dwellers. Yeah, they're eating Daphnia, but I also give them pellets, and I give them, which the pellets that I'm feeding them lately are the New Life Spectrum small fish formula. They love that stuff. They can't handle big pieces. And then I also give them, yeah, maybe I can try. I give them this stuff, the small fish one. I don't know if you can see that.
Another one, someone asked what the yellowfish were.
Oh, the yellowfish are
those
gold barbs.
Gold barbs. Yeah.
Yeah, good question. Sorry we're not catching all of these, guys. We can't catch them all, but we're trying to do what we can.
Somebody's asking about a channel called Reptiles Uncaged.
Oh, Reptiles Uncaged. I think I've heard of it. I have never seen it. But, oh wait, no, maybe I have. Is that the guy who has the big room with all the reptiles in it? Because he has some cool stuff going on. Okay, shrimp is a cleanup crew. I do love shrimp as a cleanup crew. I wouldn't use them in this tank because the multis would murder them. They would make very short work of them. But I have used them in other tanks and I like them.
Red Omai, since you breed reptiles, it begs the question, have you ever read Hydrosaurus? It just disappeared.
It just disappeared. I'll pull it back up if I can.
Pustillatus.
I have not bred that one, no. But it would be fun to play with. There's so many species I want to play with someday, but I haven't had a chance to do with some of them. So, okay, aside from me asking if you have LED lights on this tank and what part they are. These are LED lights on this tank, yes. This is a DIY project based on a project that Joey of the King of DIY suggested on his one of his videos, and I based it on that. There is a twist to it. I don't know what the par is actually, and I'm just sort of testing it out. I've only done it for a couple of days to see if it works. Yeah, so that's...
Let's see. Little Bob, do you breed dinosaurs? Well, we have chickens, but we don't have a rooster, so I guess that's no.
I guess technically no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dinosaurs Terror World, what do you feed your fish?
So, yeah, it depends on the fish. But I like quite a few varieties of food, and I like fresh foods. I do a lot of live foods, of course. Like my multis get microworms every day, and then the pellets, and then they get Daphnia and stuff like that. That's true of a lot of my fish. Our goldfish get all kinds of vegetables. They get bits of orange, they get zucchini, they get cucumber, they get lettuce, and all that kind of stuff. But I also use pellets. Some of my favorite pellets to use are omega-1. I like New Life Spectrum. I use a lot of different types, but those are some of my favorites. Oh, you know, Little Bob says, do you think none of us are dino nerds? Well, I'll tell you, our son is like one of the ultimate dino nerds. He's going to college to study paleontology, and he actually might be popping in on the live stream. So he's definitely one of those.
Andrew asks, how do you make a mini homemade reptile egg incubator?
Oh, I think Red Omai was talking about hydrosaurs, not hadrosaurs, I think.
Well, we've definitely never bred hadrosaurs.
Definitely never bred hadrosaurs. You know, yeah, Dinosaurs Terror World actually makes stop-motion claymation dinosaur stuff on the channel. So if you want to check that out. If you like dinosaurs, check that out on the channel. It's pretty cool. Mini homemade reptile egg incubator. I have never done that. Never tried it. So I can't comment on that. I wish I could. But I have incubated eggs, but just in sight, like on wherever they were laid. Mite problems. Can you read that one for us?
Yeah, if it'll come back up.
Okay. R.C. Dean.
Have you ever had mite problems? If so, how did you destroy them? Various cultures keep getting infected with mites of different kind. Red mites, grain mites. They're a nightmare.
Yes, I have dealt with mites. I've had mites infest springtail cultures a couple of times. I've had mites in a few other things, a few other cultures. I've never really had them in fruit fly cultures, although some people do have that problem. I have noticed that I seem to have gotten a hold of some predatory mites which eat other mites, and those live in my vivarium. So after I got those, I think I got those with some millipedes.
Kind of on accident?
Kind of on accident, and now they eat the mites. And I don't have any problems with mites anymore. My frogs also eat mites. So that's kind of cool.
Vividin says, have you ever considered it just disappeared, hang on. Ever considered creating a castle-like setup for the multis? I do regret that we don't breed hadrosaurs.
Well, castle-like setup, that's an interesting idea. Do you mean like with stone? I don't know. I'm interested to see.
You can build it out of the shells? I don't know. Dinosaur says, how many pill bug species do you have?
I have 15 varieties of isopods of some kind here. Not all of those are species. Some of those are cultivars or morphs. So let's see. So species probably somewhere around 11 or 12, I think, because of the morphs that I have. And most of the morphs I have are Porcelio scabber morphs. So I have like Dalmatian, and I have orange, and now I have calico, and I've got orange Dalmatian. So yeah, I think about 11 species. Okay.
Andrew says, oh, you've got so many species. What was the most complex vivarium for you to complete? And Kamari says y'all should make a big community vivarium.
That would be fun. It can be
maybe
tricky.
That would be the most complex.
That would be very complex, because the different species you work with can be, you have to make sure that they can work together. The only really community vivarium I tried was keeping mourning geckos with dart frogs, and that didn't work out too well because the lid requirements for the dart frogs and the geckos were not compatible really, and so we ended up with a couple of escaped geckos and a couple that got actually caught in the lid, which was really sad, and they died. So I haven't retried a community vivarium since then, but I think someday with a proper large setup I would do that, because it would be really cool.
Dinosaurs have only one species, dwarf white ones. Red, oh my, yes. Hydrosaurus, actually, speaking of reptiles, is a... Come back.
We keep
is a sailfin dragon. However, I used the scientific name, but I heard you guys talking about breeding reptiles and figured I would ask. It's very hard to find babies.
I was figuring that Hydrosaurus was one of the water dragons. I wasn't sure which one, but that sounded familiar. Hydrosaurus meaning water lizard and everything. But I haven't kept those at all. But I've always found them quite fascinating.
Do you have a bearded dragon? We don't have a bearded dragon.
I've babysat one before. Let's see. Let's say, Little Bob, I think I just made you a mod so that you can post the link for Andrew. Try that. I've never made anybody a moderator before. I think I just did. Okay.
Somebody asked what's the smallest aquarium size for Shelleys that you would recommend.
Okay. Does the texture or pattern create a preference for them, or is it chiefly size? What do you mean by texture or pattern?
Well, you didn't answer the other one.
Which one?
What's the smallest that you can get away with? I think.
What specific snail species? I missed that. Okay. Produces the ideal shells. Well,
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Which one?
I read another one. They asked about tank size for Shelleys.
Oh, okay. So I got those two messed up. Okay. I got them confused.
The smallest tank size.
Oh, okay.
For Shelleys,
SB Animations.
Would you recommend, or which Shelley is the most interesting?
Okay. SB Animations. Sorry, I missed that. Okay. The minimum recommended size for multis specifically is usually about 10 gallons. I think you can get away with a little smaller, but honestly, I started these out in a 20 and realized really quickly that I didn't really want to use a 20. I felt like it was too small, and that's why I moved them to this 29. I think they do a lot better. They're now they have discrete little villages or territories, which looks a lot cooler. And I think that helps a lot in you seeing more of their behavior and so on. So I would say a 10 is minimum. Go bigger if you can. That's what I would say.
Okay.
And this specific species, I can't recall the exact species right now of the shell that they live in the wild, but these shells in this tank are not that species, because the ones that are actually from Lake Tanganyika are ridiculously expensive and ridiculously fragile. But they're very similar to these in many respects. And so these are European edible snails. And you can get these
like
online.
Escargot
People
snails?
use them for escargot. Yeah, it's the same species of snail that is used for escargot, and people sell these online on Amazon as escargot shells. So you can get canned escargot or fresh escargot or whatever and put them in these shells and serve them authentically. And so that's the idea, and that's what I use. It works well.
Dinosaur says, can you upload videos every day, not only Fridays? Oh, glad you like them.
I wish I could. We're trying for twice a week now. We were doing once a week for a while, and now we're doing twice. If I could, I would do it every day. It's usually a time constraint thing, but if we can at least move it up to twice a week, I mean, that's great, and we'll see what happens after that. It all depends on the popularity of the videos.
Kamara said you should get a Lichianus gecko.
Oh, you know what?
Those
I
are
held
the
one
lychees,
once.
right?
Those are lychees, yeah. I held one once at a reptile expo, and it was really cool. I loved it. But, yeah, they do cost hundreds of dollars, so maybe someday.
Andrew asked how long the live stream go for. We usually do half an hour.
Yeah, we're shooting for half an hour this time. Mm-hmm. So we have about 10 minutes.
Yeah. And somebody else joined, Philip Conroy. Hello, Philip.
Oh, yeah, we've seen Philip before.
Okay.
And Little Bob, thank you for posting that link for Andrew.
And Andrew, I don't really have styrofoam containers, so I'll use something else. I don't know what that thread was about.
Yeah, that must have been the link, but we missed it because it went past.
Dinosaur Terror World says, how many dart frog species do you have?
Right now, only one. I have bumblebee dart frogs, which is Dendrobates leucomelas. I used to have an Auratus. Unfortunately, when I was moving things around and put the lid on the container in its new location, it wasn't on correctly, and the Auratus hopped out. And I found it about half an hour too late, unfortunately. So it did not survive that. That was sad. So Dendrobates leucomelas is black and yellow with green feet.
Okay, Andrew says he's coming back in 10 minutes. RC Dean, what's the smallest tank you can use for a small dart frog?
For a small dart frog. It depends on the species. Okay, if it's a thumbnail dart frog, which I have not kept, you can do a pretty small tank. People keep those in the 12 by 12 footprint, 18 inches high vivariums with no problem. You can keep a pair in there and have them breed in there and so on. So fairly small. Most people say about 10 gallons for frog for the larger frogs, and it depends on the species because some get bigger. I've got a trio and a 20-gallon high, and that seems to work fine. But yeah, usually about 10 gallons per frog, approximately. It's kind of a rule of thumb.
Dinosaur says, how many feeder insects do you have?
I breed quite a few feeder insects. Let's see. Feeder insects. And that's also related to Little Bob's question. Right now I've got fruit flies and, let's see, springtails, crickets. I do rice flower beetles, and like I said about the 15 different types of isopods. What else have I got that are insects specifically? I think those are all the insect specific. No, mealworms. I'm breeding mealworms too. I'm looking over on my shelf over here to see what I've got. I think those are all the feeder insects that I'm breeding right now. I have bred others, including bean beetles, in the past, but I stopped keeping bean beetles because I wasn't certain they were legal because I was getting conflicting information, so I decided to forget.
Just not worry about it.
Forget it, not do it anymore. So Philip said these.
Says these shell dwellers seem small.
They are, yeah.
Maltese
the males
are very big.
The males top out at about 2 inches long, and the females are a little, maybe 1.25 inches, and a lot of these are babies. The ones that you can see, if you see the ones that I think you're seeing, is a pair and their offspring that live in the middle of the tank. So the larger one there on the right is a male, and then the smaller one behind is a full-grown female, and all the rest of their babies.
I'm bringing it back up. P. Getty, what's the biggest fish you have?
Our biggest fish is our goldfish.
Probably our goldfish.
Pondy, she's about 9 inches long, I think. Last time I tried to measure her.
So nothing monster.
Yeah, not super huge. I've had, I guess, some bigger fish before, but. Oh, adult mealworms are darkling beetles. I think that's what that says.
Yeah.
Oh, we're losing. Oh, it's coming back up. Okay.
Shane, hello, my friends. Hello, Shane.
Shane's in the house. Yeah, Shane's been following us for a long time, from the early days, really. Thank you for joining us, Shane.
Bob thinks the fish think that they're being attacked by a robot. I don't know. I'm not sure if they've noticed, actually.
I don't know.
This is an interesting question from the Vividin. What is the action you've taken as a kid involving arthropods that you regret the most?
Oh, I was really mean to grasshoppers as a kid, and I feel bad about it to this day. I actually swallowed a grasshopper alive.
So you ate them.
That was awful.
That was your regret, was that you ate a grasshopper. I would regret it if I ate a grasshopper too.
Well,
maybe
eating
for
it alive,
reasons.
that was the worst thing.
Ooh, squirmy.
Yeah, I feel bad about that. Sorry, I'm admitting it. I was a weird kid, and I ate grasshoppers alive. Not like habitually, but I did do it. Okay.
Let's see. RCD's mites. SB Animations. How much space of the aquarium do your Shelleys use upwards, approximately? All of it? Or do they stay low to the ground?
That is a great question.
They stay lower, don't
but
they?
Look at this. Here's one right up here.
That's true.
Here's these that are about halfway up.
Generally, they kind of, stay about like that.
Yeah, but this is the interesting thing. I've been studying this very question for a long time, and one of the things is that people say Shelleys spend all their time at the bottom, and to some degree that's true, but what happens is the more population you have, the higher proportion of that population will use the rest of the tank. I've seen some big tanks with Shelleys in them where they use every level in the tank. And in the wild, in Lake Tanganyika, there's some footage you can find on YouTube. Light Search is the name of the guy who has posted. He's researched Shelleys in the wild and as well as in captivity, and he's gone to Lake Tanganyika and taken footage of them in the wild. It's really cool. They have a huge group of Shelleys, a bunch on the ground and a bunch way up above, 4 or 6 feet up above. So yeah, they'll use the whole tank if you have enough of them in there. Okay.
Vividin, that's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad.
Kamari, I wish my parents would let me have reptiles. Oh, come back. I try to give my mom information. Well, she just doesn't care, and when I watch all videos, it makes me want one more. Sometimes
I feel for you.
It can be hard to convince parents.
Yep.
Maybe she can watch some of our videos, like about crested geckos versus leopard geckos or something.
Well, Kelly herself wasn't really all that interested in getting geckos until...
Well, I didn't have anything against them. No. I mean, you got them before I liked them. I didn't say, no, you can't have them.
Right.
But then I held a crested gecko. So if you can get your mom to hold a crested gecko, she might, She
might change.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. It's a good point. Oh, sorry. I hope I didn't just block somebody by accident. If I did, I'm so sorry.
Pushed the wrong button, so I guess you can let us know if that was you.
We gotta scroll back a little bit. Sorry, everybody.
Okay. Eating a grasshopper, Mr. Spudbud. That gave me a laugh. Okay, dinosaurs. How many years do your fish live?
Well, it depends on the fish. I've had a goldfish live to be 16, and that wasn't even that long. I actually had to sell it at that point because find a home for it. Because we were moving out overseas
to Hawaii,
and we couldn't bring it with us. So they can live to be 40. Some of these fish here, I think, can live to be 5 to 10 years. We've had these gold barbs for probably 4 or more years, something like that. Okay.
RC Dean, what is your favorite fish? Little Bob says Placos, SB, or Asian arowanas.
Asian arowana. R.I.P. Joey's arowana. It just passed away. It's so sad. The king of DIY. He had an arowana for years, and he moved it to a new tank, and something happened, and it just died like today.
Dima has just joined us. Hello, Dima. Dinosaurs,
welcome.
How is your leopard gecko doing now? You know what? She's really enjoying her new tank.
It's so fabulous to watch her in that new vivarium, the bioactive we just built her. She loved it. For a few days, she kind of holed up in one spot and dug this big burrow, but it was in the kind of the cooler part of the vivarium, and I was a little worried she wasn't gonna be able to, thermoregulate properly. And I made a slight modification on the warm side with the way the cork bark was arranged, and suddenly she loved that. And so now she spends a lot of time in the warm side, but when she's ready, she comes out and she wanders around and she tries to beg for food. You can see she looks at it and she's like, give me food, I'm ready to eat.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So it's pretty exciting.
Zero Cool made it to the live stream. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome back.
Oops, shoot, did I just...
No, just click there. I think we're okay.
Too many buttons. SB Animations, how do you feed your crested crickets? We just hold them in front. We have always fed my crested gecko by hand so that she would be nice and tame. Even with the CGD, I just dip my finger in and let her lick it off. And so we've always fed her bugs by hand. So, I just take her out and she's sitting on my hand or my arm or whatever, and we put a cricket in front of her face and she goes, "Arr, nom, nom, nom."
Yep, and that's the same for her offspring. Does the same thing.
Yeah.
And she loves to eat them that way. Our gecko Jake does not.
He's not so much into bugs.
He'll eat crickets once in a while. He's taken a couple out of my hands. He's not a big fan. He prefers his crested gecko diet. But at night, sometimes if I put a deli cup in his vivarium, I'll dust the crickets with the supplement and just set him in there, and sometimes he'll eat them. But everybody else is so excited about it.
Let's see. Somebody asked, if money were not an issue, what would be your dream pet?
Holy cow. For me? Are they asking me?
Yeah.
There would
Little
only
Bob
be,
said his would be a lace monitor.
There would be about 50 of them. And
I think if money were no object, you would just have a zoo. You would just be a zoo director.
Probably. Because there are so many animals that I want to keep that I've never kept. It would be hard to decide. Really hard. So I don't even know what to say. If you say, what's your dream reptile, or what's your dream this or that, I could pick one maybe. It would be hard to do it though.
Maybe. You'd have to pick like a top 5 in each taxonomic category.
Yeah, something like that.
Let's see.
Oh, let's go.
Do we feed them mealworms?
We don't.
The Crested Geckos?
We don't. We feed our leopard gecko mealworms as part of her diet. She also gets crickets and stuff, but we do not feed the Crested Geckos mealworms. I've heard of some people doing it, but I've also heard that it's hard for them to digest them, so we do not.
Okay. Glorious Video said theirs would be minor fish. I don't know what minor fish are. What are minor fish?
Minor fish?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that like a deep sea pelagic fish, probably?
Glorious Videos tell us what minor fish are.
Yeah, you got to tell us more about that. I know that Glorious Videos happens to be kind of an expert on
deep
benthic
sea,
fish. I meant to say, I said pelagic, I meant to say benthic fish. Or abyssal fish, actually. This is his really big specialty.
He really likes that stuff.
The abyssal fish at the bottom of the ocean.
Also cephalopods. He really likes cephalopods.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we are at half an hour. Dinosaurs, how many animals do you have right now?
I don't even know because
you're gonna have to watch the 4,000 subscriber video and count.
And actually, I know that Dinosaurs Terror World commented on that video, so has watched it, but I don't know the number. I haven't gone along and counted, and I need to decide what am I counting. I mean, the other day I was counting through my rainbow millipedes. I mean, my bumblebee millipedes. I probably have like 17 just of that species millipede, maybe more.
We would have to count species because if we counted individuals.
Yeah, it would be crazy, especially if we try to do springtails or isopods.
Yeah.
I mean, how many hundreds of isopods are over there on the wall? I don't even know.
Let's see. Vividin, the biggest cephalopod ever was an ammonite. Oh,
That's
you were talking about that the other day. RCD, if you froze live crickets, could you thaw them out and feed them to a leopard gecko?
I know some people give them freeze-dried crickets.
Would they be soggy?
I don't know. I've
heard
people using frozen
sometimes
roaches,
foods don't freeze and you thaw them and they're soggy. I don't know if they would like soggy crickets.
And can a cricket get a soggy? I don't know. I think I've seen leopard geckos eat food that doesn't move a lot, but I think they prefer the hunting. They prefer to watch it move. That's part of the stimulus for eating. Although I've seen them eat like rapashi grub pie on videos too, so you never know.
It might just depend on what they've been raised on and what they're used to eating.
Yeah.
Not soggy. RCD says they're not soggy. Okay. I don't really want to put crickets in my freezer with my food, though.
And it is Kelly's freezer, too, so you have to be careful about that.
You can buy a pet freezer if you want.
Well, and that's a good point that Shane brings up there.
He says you can, but generally speaking, you should not, because most of the nutritional value is lost by doing so, and all the gut flora is also lost, which is a very good point.
Yeah, I think gut flora is, like Shane says here,
the value of which cannot be underestimated.
Yeah, it's an important thing for many species, so...
Dinosaurs Terror World, do you breed dubia roaches? Heck no.
No, because Kelly has completely...
That is my rule. No roaches
prohibited
ever.
Roaches. That we can't have roaches, we can't have tarantulas, and we can't have anything that has venom that would kill you. Those are the rules.
And Russ likes me more than roaches, so he agreed to that. More. He says I'm cuter than a roach.
That's true.
Philip, how's your axolotl doing? She's doing pretty... Oh, Shane is frowning at me. That's okay. Russ is married, and he likes that better than roaches, so, you know, I'm better company on a Friday night than the roaches.
That's true. That's true. But the axolotl's doing really well. She's growing, putting on weight. There.
She likes to play. Aquarimax wife. That's me.
That's Kelly. Yep.
How is your Crested Gecko doing? She's good. You know what? I just love her. She is so social. She regularly, you know, if she's awake when we're in there, and she'll see us, and she'll jump up against the door and says, "I want to come out and play." And so, you know, we just take her out, and she hangs out on our shoulder. We're running around the house doing stuff, and she just hangs out with us and has a good time. And
she's a fun little gecko. I really enjoy her a lot.
See, Philip says it's fair rules.
I think it's
Thank
fair
you.
rules. I agree. It's pretty fair.
Isaac said Madagascar hissing cockroach. Or sorry, the Vividin says Madagascar hissing cockroaches are the best. They may be, but they still don't come in the house.
Yeah, I did work with some of those at the zoo, and I liked them. But you know, got to do what you got to do.
Yep. Let's see. Lidl Bob says dubia roaches can even crawl out of plates. What are plates?
I think
plates
Lidl Bob means they can't crawl out of plates.
Oh yeah, you know what? They're a roach. I don't believe it. They will figure it out. We lived in Hawaii, and we had enough roaches to last me the rest of my life. I've never, ever, ever.
It was not fun.
Dill Pickle says same for his wife.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Shane, tough to argue on the cuteness, I suppose. Thank you. Let's see. Shane, I can tell when a battle's long since lost. Yes, it is very true. R.C. Dean, yeah, I looked after a common swift chick.
Which is a bird.
Oh, okay. I have all the nutritional powders and such.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, we're
Sorry,
losing
I
our
totally
video.
read that wrong.
It's coming back up.
I had it for a month and it flew away yesterday. Perfect.
Oh, nice.
Good job. You know what? We had a magpie in our front yard yesterday that looked like both of its wings were injured.
Were injured a little bit, and it didn't look. It was hopping around looking for food, so it wasn't too uncomfortable, but
it wasn't acting, you know,
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've actually raised a few wild birds as babies and
they
released
would
them
come
too.
back and visit you.
Yeah, I had one that would come back and
How old
visit
were
me
you? Were
and
like
land on our
12
neighbors'
when
heads.
you raised
12 or
George?
13,
George was a
something like that. It was
starling.
fun. It was really fun.
Yeah,
He was a
he
cool
loved
bird.
you. Little Bob, you made Shane sad. Give him a cookie.
Do they have
can
a
have
cookie
a roach
button?
cookie.
Do they have a cookie button here?
I don't know. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, they're asking about Tiki too.
Oh, is there? Oh, okay.
Dinosaur
She's
serval.
doing it. We're not entirely sure yet if she's a male. We're thinking she might. He might be. She might be.
Yeah.
But she's doing well too. We recently moved her into a slightly larger tank. We're kind of graduating her up, and she's good. She eats bugs right out of her hands too. She's like her mom. I keep calling her she because I'm used to calling her she. You know, but she really likes to just eat crickets right out of her hands too. She'll eat, I don't know, 5 or 6 of the little ones at a time and just nom 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 nom.
She's very excited about it.
Yep. Little Bob gave Shane a cookie. Okay, there we go.
Oh, you can actually do that?
Sweet.
Oh, it's
a cookie emoji.
It's an emoji. Oh, okay.
Yay, cookies. Dinosaurs says, do you have a cat called Cosmo? We do.
Yes, we do.
He was in the 4,000
good memory
subscriber
if you remember
video.
from that video. That's pretty good that you remember after all those animals.
And,
he was the first one on
you know,
there.
with all of the different critters that he has lived with, he's done a very good job at learning to not try to eat them.
Bug them. Yeah.
Little Bob said, let's see, what did he say? It's coming back. Sorry, guys.
Here it comes.
He had a magpie chick, but the dog got it.
Oh no.
Sadness. Dinosaurs, can you show me your face? I'm on the other live stream, the first one we did with my face on it. I wasn't feeling watchable today, so we're watching the fish. If I feel beautiful next time, I'll have my face on it. How about that?
She just wasn't feeling very well. Yeah.
The Swift was extremely difficult to look after, the RCD, and I
bet. Totally have respect for you doing
Yeah.
that. I understand because having raised a couple of different fledgling birds and baby birds and having them fledge and leave, I know what you mean. I went out at night in bare feet to catch night crawlers for my starling that I raised. Like every night, that's not all I fed it.
I mean, this was not as an adult. You were a kid. You did it all yourself.
It was really hard. I had to feed that bird about every 15 minutes, but he learned to. I would go outside after he could fly. I'd go outside and whistle for him. He'd fly down out of the tree and land on my shoulder and beg for food. It was really cool. So I totally respect you for doing that. It is really hard. A swift is probably even harder in a lot of ways than a starling, because a starling is a little bit more omnivorous, whereas a swift is more insectivorous.
So you don't have as many options.
Yeah. So totally.
Yeah. Let's see. Philip says, baby bats often die outside my house. I think it must be the cats around the neighborhood. Oh, baby bats. We usually get bats. It's pretty easy to see bats in our backyard during the summer because there's just big fields around us, behind us, so it's pretty nice. There's one that was half alive, he said, and I didn't know what to do. What do you do for half alive baby bat?
I would just see if there's a wildlife rehab.
Help it die with dignity.
In the area.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing that I could think of.
Let's see. Dinosaurs. I have an African fat-tailed gecko.
That's a cool one. I haven't had one of those. I think they sound cool. They're a lot like leopard geckos. They need it a little bit more humid, but very similar in other ways.
Oh, Andrew's back. SB Animations. Do you know these do-it-yourself cricket bottles that people use to feed chameleons? Oh, I gotta bring it back. They're pretty much a bottle with a big hole in it and a plastic grid mesh inside where the crickets stay at.
Well, I haven't used one of those before.
Can they kind of poke through and the
chameleon
just reaches up and grabs one like?
I'm guessing that what happens is, we're losing Little Bob.
Oh, Little Bob.
It's going down. The connection is being bad. Sorry, Little Bob. Thanks for joining us, though.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope everybody's still...
Is it still... Okay.
Okay, it's kind of...
Beetle Bob, stay on target. Okay. RCD, cats are little devils. That's often true.
Our cat is sometimes a
but
little
sometimes
devil.
he's a really sweet devil.
Sometimes he's an angel.
Yeah, I think cats are just bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
Aquarimax wife. Yeah, my name's Kelly, just so you know. Do crickets scare you? They don't scare me, but I don't really like holding them because they look dirty to me. Mm-hmm. Probably because they're the same color as their poop.
As dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their poop. They're not my favorite, but I would rather have crickets than roaches. Yes.
Yeah.
Shane, wonderful pets at Dinosaurs Terror World. I love them. Oh, I don't remember what they were talking about.
We was talking about AFTs, which is African fat-tailed geckos.
Right. Okay. And Shane says crickets suck.
Yeah.
It's true, but roaches suck more.
In our house, roaches don't win. But I totally appreciate the benefits of culturing roaches. I think they're easier to culture than crickets, and there are other benefits too. But
if you ever have like a remote facility that is nowhere near our house, and you go through like one of those shakedown filters and a sterilizer every time you go in and out of
then it might be okay.
Then you can have roaches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
SB, I love that you have the Shelleys in the background. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, if they escape the crickets, it sounds like hell. Yeah, there's always cricket noises in our house.
I'm afraid that crickets don't escape from the container in the sense that they can't get out when it's closed. But sometimes when the container is open, a cricket will leap, and then I lose it. So that does happen.
They're naughty little things.
Things.
Sorry. Oh, you can
This is interesting.
hypnotize crickets. How do you flip them over?
It says you flip them over and press
like,
their knees together, their back knees together.
Plus, if we have the
and
crickets, then we
sleep.
can feed them to the chickens sometimes too.
That's
and the
true.
chickens
That
like
helps.
them too.
It's interesting. I've never tried that. I have anesthetized crickets with CO2 on occasion, to revive them later, not to kill them. But I've never actually tried that.
You know how to put a chicken to sleep.
That's true. I can hypnotize a chicken too.
Dinosaurs are zebra pillbugs your favorite out of all pillbug species?
They might be. They're definitely up there. Probably the favorite out of the species that I keep. There are a couple of species in Spain I really want to get a hold of someday that are fantastic. They're amazing. They're amazingly colored and they're huge. So if I ever get any of those, I will be excited. But I don't have any right now.
Little Bob, when you say Shane, I think you're talking about me because that's my real name.
Sorry. You can see how that could cause confusion.
Okay, and then right after that, Shane, the other Shane, says, okay, we need a GoFundMe for Aquarimax state-of-the-art roach facility.
Awesome idea.
Okay.
I love it. Or you know what? Everybody just dump the super chats on me. With 4,000 plus subscribers, everybody a $2 super chat, I'd have over $8,000 and I could build one.
Yeah, it wouldn't go to a roach facility.
Okay.
Let's see. RCD and crickets are quite fast. I mean, yeah, they're pretty fast. Dinosaurs, don't worry about spelling mistakes. You're typing fast. It's, I can read through them. No worries.
Good.
Animals Unlimited. Hello from the UK. Love your videos.
Thank
Welcome.
you for joining us.
Hypnotize using gas isn't hypnosis. I'm not quite sure what that means.
Oh, I was talking about how I had anesthetized crickets using CO2. I hadn't hypnotized them, and that doesn't really count.
Shane says, cancel that, guys. Kelly will hijack the fund. I might embezzle some for a dance studio instead of... Little Bob, oh, you're Irish. Are you in Ireland? That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Okay, I have a question for you, because I usually say it more the Scots way of slancha, but it seems like I've heard people who are Irish say something closer to slunge. So is that true, or am I totally messing that up? Unlimited UK. I'm going to admit I don't know what that means either.
Okay, no, I don't either, but what is this one?
Andrew Chen, how many days or months does it take for pillbugs to start breeding?
Totally depends. If you're starting out from when they are first born until you're going to get babies from them, it could be over a year, depending on the species. But the thing is, if you're starting out with adults, I mean, they don't even have to be adults. About a third of their adult size, they'll start breeding. So you could go outside and catch some, and you could have babies in a couple of days, because once from mating until the babies come out, it's like 3 or 4 weeks, something like that. So yeah, it just totally depends on the species and what size and everything.
Okay, Dinosaurs Terror World says, I wish if you could have 100 million subscribers.
Me too. If that ever happens, I'll be really excited.
Well, that's true. And Philip is pointing out it is pretty late in the UK. You guys are stalwart to be up this late.
Yeah, we really
listening
appreciate
to us.
all of you being here. And if it's really late for you, more power to you. That's awesome.
Shane says he is too. That's why he never makes his streams. So
okay.
Yeah, you guys just must not be able to sleep tonight. I don't know. He also says the Irish say, and he spells the word, but I don't know what the pronunciation is that time because I think it's spelled the same both ways. So, Little Bob, chime in for my linguistic curiosity.
Does temperature matter with breeding the isopods, the pill bugs? Yes, to some degree, but if you're within house temperatures, I don't think it matters much.
Okay.
It might be, if it's a little warmer, it might speed it up a little bit.
R.C. Dean, first one I've caught. Which one is he's catching? I don't know. Oh, he's in UK too. Wow.
Oh, he's talking about the first live stream that they've caught.
Oh, okay,
it's part of the reason we wanted to
I'm
do
like,
it
wow,
today.
what'd you catch?
Part of the reason we wanted to do it today at this time because we won't be able to do it at this time very often, but at least we could catch some people who don't usually get to.
Russ is on vacation from his day job currently.
Yes.
So usually the timing is a little different.
Yeah.
Oh, little Bob.
I will never help you pronounce it.
Oh, sadness. Oh, Shane says slantier would be the phonetic. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. One of these days I'm going to learn Gaelic because it's awesome. Dinosaurs. I live in an Arabian country. Oh, where are you at?
That's cool.
I do Arabic dance. So there you go.
And Dinosaurs Terror World, in the name of the species of the fish you have, this species goes by a couple of different scientific names, but one of them is Neolamprologus multifasciatus. It's also called X-Lamprologus multifasciatus. So it's hard, whoever is, depends on who you're talking to.
Okay, dinosaurs in Qatar.
Oh, Qatar, cool.
I haven't learned anything from Qatar. I've done a little bit of golf, Khaliji kind of stuff, and that's really fun, although I had to kind of lay off of it because of my neck after a while. But
I've met quite a few people from Qatar, though.
Did you have students from there?
Yep, I did.
Okay. Alrighty, well, we are 15 minutes over our normal time.
We are. So thank you so much for joining us. If you want to smash the like button really quick, if you haven't already, that would be awesome. Then more people will get to see this. It will be passed on to other people. Oh,
SB Animations, did you ever have problems keeping the shell dweller tank free from algae or debris?
Yes, I had a cyanobacterial outbreak at first when I set it up. I made the mistake of setting up a smaller filter, and then I actually have a video about it, and it was a train wreck. The whole thing was awful. I had one of the most awful experiences I've had in years with fish, and so, but I was able to take care of it and fix it by just getting a larger filter, and now I don't have to worry about it so far. I mean, this new light, I'm going to have to see how it works with algae. I'm going to have to keep a close eye on it. But so far, since I dealt with that cyanobacterial outbreak, it's been fine. It's been great.
Okay, RCD, nice to speak to you guys. Shane, thanks for streaming. You guys have a great weekend, everybody. I would echo that. Philip says, see you later. Good night from the UK.
Thank you,
everyone.
Oh,
little Bob, you sent beautiful language. I'm going to have to go translate it.
We'll have to see if we can screen dump that and catch it and check it.
Can I, copy and paste it or something? Oh, it's not going to let me do it, huh?
I don't know how to do that.
He says, haha, you'll never know what I said.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, again. And we're going to take off, so we'll catch you later. We have more videos in store for you.
Bye, guys. Oh, wait. We didn't say our catchphrase.
Oh, let's say it.
Okay, may the fish
be with you.